Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Milton Ruskin. It is my distinct pleasure to act as the host of International Wrestling each and every week on television and on this International Wrestling home video to describe the action to you, to discuss it with longtime wrestling great, of course, Dino Bravo. Gino, the wrestling fans really can look forward to a lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot of excitement on what they're about to see.
Well, if I may say so, first of all, let's start off by saying I'm an authority as far as midget wrestling goes, because as you well know, my dad started the midgets exactly 32 years ago.
That's right.
He had the first midgets, the greatest as far as I'm concerned, Sky Lolo, Little Beaver, Fuzzy Cupid, Irish Jackie, Tom Tom, you name
Jamaica
it, he
Kid.
had them all, Jamaica Kid. And now, we still have some of the best Little Brutus, which, by the way, a good friend of mine, we've been out together on a few times, but the man's in that ring, and sure, the people like him. They realize also that these guys are athletes, they work hard, they put out every time 100%, and especially the kids love them.
They're just really, they're men who happen to stand a little shorter than the rest of us, but they're very strong, very agile, and as you said, the kids, they are fun for the entire family. There's no question of that. And you know something, it's kind of good that on this particular home video, the midgets are there really to break it, because there is some phenomenal action on this tape. When you consider that we have a number of matches featuring probably the wildest man ever in professional wrestling, 450-pound Abdullah the Butcher.
You know, Abdullah the Butcher, I remember him when he first came. I think he came from Sudan or Kuwait, whatever, and he came around the Detroit area. And a good friend of ours, George Cannon, spotted him, and he said, this guy, I mean, a lot of things gonna be spilled about Abdullah the Butcher because this guy has it. And sure, he's gained some weight. He's probably slowed down a little. But one thing is, Abdullah the Butcher has got to be the toughest man I know I ever faced, and I'm sure a lot of his opponents out there, be it Dino Bravos, the Martels, you name them, the guy, you cannot pin him. That's one thing for sure.
What's interesting is he has never changed his style. We are going to see a match featuring in a chain match versus Karem Mohammed, and as well wrestling against perhaps one of the strongest men, not just in professional wrestling, but in the entire world.
Right.
Sadistic Steve Strong. This is a man who's a powerlifting champion. He has 24-inch biceps. He squats in excess of 800 pounds and bench presses over 650 pounds. This is one strong, tough, arrogant, and sadistic individual, Steve Strong. And it's interesting, Gino, that Abdullah, if you watch all these matches, the style is exactly the same, which really lends credence to the thought that the fans decide who is their favorite on that particular occasion and who, in their opinion, they want to see lose the match.
Listen, anytime you put even an Abdullah against a Steve Strong, that obnoxious jerk that he is, well, even I will cheer Abdullah. And the fans know there's one thing about Abdullah, never give no quarters, but never take any. Steve Strong's been mouthing off, he's been tearing down everybody, you know, going around posing with the bicep. Wrestling is more than just posing. Wrestling is more than muscles.
But he's a dangerous individual.
It's a signs of leverage, balance, and heart, and Abdullah's got that, and Abdullah's got more experience in his little finger right now than Steve Strong has. So Steve Strong, he's in for a hell of a fight.
Okay, now we move along, and we have a series of championship matches. The international belt will be at stake in a series of matches with the Great Samu versus your longtime friend Dino Bravo. We're going to see some very interesting things. Without giving things away, rest assured, fans, I think it's 3 matches in various locations between Dino Bravo and the Great Samu. Folks, settle back in your living room, relax, and enjoy. As I said just a few moments ago, there's a lot of thrills, a lot of chills, a lot of fun coming to you, and it's going to be a good time, Gino, describing it to the folks at home. Without further ado, this arena is filling up now. It's going to be full by the time we're done. But the matches, we should add, are from a variety of locations.
That's right.
Some of the best matches ever seen by the fans of international wrestling. So settle back, folks. We're going to the action. Dino, we've just witnessed an absolutely wild wrestling match that took place between you and Abdullah the Butcher in Tokyo, Japan. Now, as one who has wrestled against this giant individual, would you say that it's fair to say that Abdullah is, as he has always been described, the wildest man in professional wrestling?
Yes, he probably is, because, you know, the thing that's a shame about it, you know, that we try to regulate some rules out there, and Abdullah's the first one to break him, and sometimes it happens within the first minute of the match. But promoters sometimes don't dislike that situation. It seems like people like those situations. They like those wild matches. They like brutal matches, and Abdullah is certainly a master of that.
He is certainly a brutal individual. How do you combat a man that's that powerful and that big, 450 pounds? I mean, it was obvious that you took an awful lot of punishment, as did he, during the match we've just witnessed.
Well, I think my chances were good to beat him. I've beat him before, and I think Abdullah's like anybody else. He's a human being. He feels the pain just as much as we do. It's just to go out there and not fear the man and be aggressive as much as you can, and hopefully not to get hurt before you hurt him. And that's the only way to look at it, at a match going into Abdullah the Butcher.
Have you ever been involved in a bloodier match than we've just seen?
I don't recall being involved in a bloodier match than that, but I recall tougher matches than that, probably, because I like to wrestle. My style is to go out there and wrestle. With Abdullah, it's just strictly a brawl. But like I said before, he mastered that situation. You have to admit that he's good at that.
Well, you know, it's interestingly enough, for a man who weighs, as you do, approximately in the 250-pound range, you have had significant success over the years wrestling against men the size of Abdullah, the Jerry Blackwells, etc.
Yeah, I love to wrestle bigger guys than I do. Maybe I psych myself better for those situations. I like to wrestle the big guys. I seem to have success that way, and hopefully I'll continue with that direction.
Well, you know, I can't understand how you'd want to get into a ring with a man like Abdullah the Butcher. It was a wild one, I'll tell you. Folks, relax, do whatever. There's a lot more action coming up in the dressing rooms and in the ring. Well, folks, we're about to embark upon tag team action featuring none other than the Long Riders, Wild Bill and Scott Hogg Irwin. You can tell which ones they are. Wild Bill Irwin in those cowboy-type boots in the ring, squaring off against the Polynesian Prince Alofa, his tag team partner on the ring apron, none other than the same Dino Bravo that we just saw engage in one of the bloodiest matches you'll ever see versus Abdullah the Butcher. Gino, this shapes up as an interesting confrontation. A lot of size, a lot of power on the part of the Long Rider combination. The Irwin brothers, Wild Bill and Scott Hogg, facing speed as well as power in the Alofa Bravo combination.
That's right, Milt. I think you sized it up pretty well. The Irwin brothers, we know they rely on their size, they rely on their meanness, their toughness. Alofa, the Polynesian Prince, 20-year-old. The man still has the experience to gain, but he's got so much exuberance, and Dino Bravo's experience in there should prove to be a fine match.
Well, we just saw one of the unique moves for which the Polynesian Prince Alofa has become so well known and so well liked by fans everywhere. He really does enjoy his chosen occupation when he's inside that squared circle, doesn't he, Gino?
That's right, and you know, I'll tell you a little secret about Alofa. You look at him, you say, well, he doesn't look that big. I've put him on the scale. There's a man that weighs 248 pounds, his real weight.
Well, we just saw that weight can have an effect because...
Eddie Creechman.
Yeah, Creechman just took, what do you call that, a flying bump?
I guess...
In any event, Creechman put off the ring apron by the Polynesian Prince. A double chop now by Bravo and Alofa, putting Wild Bill Irwin to the canvas. And that's Bravo in there now, whipping Wild Bill. Drop kick. Caught him there right square on the jaw with that 1 foot, Gino. And up in the air. A lot easier to atomic drop Wild Bill Irwin than to do so to Abdullah, isn't it? And now Scott Hogg takes the atomic drop. Well, shiver with my timbers, I'll tell you, because that's what it's got to do to you when your tailbone comes down on the knee.
Well, so far from what I've seen, Dino Bravo has taken care of not only one, but two Long Riders. And let's face it, you look at Dino Bravo, you look at those shoulders, the strength that he's got in those arms. The long riders, sure, they're big and they're tough, but you know what? I know Dino Bravo well, Milt, and I can tell you he can mix it up with the best of them.
Well, he enjoys that, but he also enjoys wrestling. The interesting observation that has to be made is the fact that both Irwins, Scott Hogg, and in particular Wild Bill, do possess a good repertoire of legitimate wrestling holds, Gino.
They do, but look, what they like is hair pulls, gouges, punches, kicks. I mean, as
They
far as I'm
enjoy
concerned,
the barroom brawling aspects of professional
you know,
wrestling.
one day I'll expect them to come and hit an opponent with their motorcycles or something.
Run them over.
They'll have chains or... They're just two big rough guys.
Well, Bravo whip, nice reversal and hip toss by Bravo. Oh, but he missed that attempted leg drop. And now Wild Bill Irwin misses his attempted elbow drop. Good arm drag. Bravo taking Wild Bill Irwin over and down, moves to the corner, tags off with the Polynesian Prince Alofa in there. Hey, one other little tidbit of information we could fill the fans in looking at Alofa. If in fact you've never seen this young fellow in the ring before and he looks familiar, that's because there was without question a family resemblance between he and his brother, none other than the Tonga Kid.
That's right, Tonga Kid, maybe I believe the elder of the two brothers. And they're kind of built the same, and they wrestle the same way, Milt.
Same style.
Oh, you can tell it's family, it's blood.
No question of that. As the armbar taken by the Polynesian Prince Alofa, Wild Bill Irwin moving to his feet, forcing Alofa back. But what Wild Bill didn't realize was that Alofa would tag off behind his back with Bravo. And Bravo hooks the arm of Wild Bill Irwin and lays that good right hand in. Wild Bill Irwin's got Excedrin headache number 19, I'll tell you. After the right hand and those repeated lefts from Bravo, and toss in the headbutt from the Polynesian Prince Alofa for good measure.
Down he went, and I'll tell you, when you get hit by Dino Bravo, it's like getting hit with a sledgehammer. I'm surprised, though, that I'll give Bill Irwin a plus there. He's still tough enough that he can tag out and recover from that.
Well, he laid a pretty good boot into the upper part of the chest or the chin of Dino Bravo, slowed him down. Scott Hogg whipping Bravo off the ropes, laying the boot right into the midsection and scooping and slamming Bravo. And now, Scott Hogg Irwin up and down, and that's 295 pounds that came down in elbow drop fashion across the chest of Dino Bravo. It's a good thing Bravo works out constantly, Gino, because that kind of punishment would fell a lesser man.
Well, you have to. If you're going to be a top professional wrestler, you have to work out. You can't live on your laurels.
Beautiful flying maneuver by Alofa, putting Scott Hogg Irwin to the canvas and greeting Wild Bill upon his entry to the ring with a good hip toss, putting him to the canvas, uppercut and backing him now into the corner, and the whip into the turnbuckles. Following in is Alofa. Oh, nice move by Wild Bill Irwin. I believe there was a disqualification there on the part of Wild Bill Irwin for having propelled the Polynesian Prince Alofa out of the ring over the top rope. That is a disqualification in the area covered by International Wrestling. So, the tag team combination of the Polynesian Prince Alofa and Dino Bravo victorious in this confrontation with Wild Bill Irwin and Scott Hogg Irwin. The Long Rider combination disqualified for propelling Alofa, the Polynesian Prince, over the top rope. Boy, has there been action, and is there more to come. Wrestling fans, let's take another look now at how this match ended. There we see Alofa coming across the ring. Wild Bill Irwin puts him up over the top rope. That spells disqualification here with International Wrestling. A very interesting confrontation coming up now, folks. That masked Gino Brito really does nothing to hide the fact that the man under it is, of course, Abdullah The Butcher, all 450 pounds of him, notwithstanding and regardless of what weight he may have been introduced by the ring announcer. He's wrestling against Sheik Ali, a man of many accomplishments worldwide, a man who has held championships throughout the Middle East and Europe, managed by Eddie the Brain Preachman, who for many, many years, Gino Brito, and you're well familiar with this, managed Abdullah the Butcher.
That's right, and you know that mask he was wearing, that's a ninja mask, the influence of Japan. And did you see that big stick? Speak softly, carry a big stick. Well, that's Abdullah's credo right there. And oh, did you?
I saw him.
Poor Eddie Creechman. I cannot believe Eddie Creechman, the beatings he's taking lately at the hands of some of these wrestlers.
Well,
and Creechman, if I could give him a little warning, stay away from Abdullah. He's just too big for you.
Well, you know, Abdullah's about 3 times the size of Eddie the Brain. Hey, he lost his glasses, but not his cigar.
He's calling for his glasses right now. He can't see without his glasses. He should get away from there. Abdullah the Butcher is just too dangerous a man. But going up against Sheik Ali, 275 pounds.
And he's in great shape. Look at that. There's Creechman and Deepak Singh, the current manager of the Butcher. And Abdullah's down in the corner. And Sheik Ali, as you said, Gino Brito, a 275-pound individual who stands in the area of 6 feet 4 inches in height. He's a tough individual, an accomplished wrestler, and he knows every dirty trick in the book.
The action is outside the ring right now between the two managers, but Sheik Ali right now has got the upper hand. You know, that Sheik Ali, a natural athlete, 275 pounds. I still say he has the best drop kick in the sport.
That may well be, but we are seeing the devastating toll that those Far Eastern judo chops displayed by Abdullah the Butcher are having on Sheik Ali on the headbutt. Puts him to the canvas, and there's Abdullah once again going after his former manager, the Brain, Eddie Creechman. And when he does so, Sheik Ali comes over. Whoa, did you see the insult Creechman just put on Deepak Singh by pulling his turban off, Gino Brito?
That's right. Creechman would do things like that. But right now, let's get back to the ring, Milt, because it's interesting to see that Sheik Ali does not back away from Abdullah the Butcher. Again, he's trying to split open these old scars of Abdullah's. And you know, is he hurt, Milt?
I don't know, Gino,
right now.
But you know, the interesting aspect of this match, really, particularly after having seen that match between Bravo and Abdullah all the way over in Tokyo, Japan, is that this is the first instance I can ever recall, not just in my tenure working with professional wrestling, but going back to when I was a kid as a fan, that the fans have been solidly behind the Butcher.
That's right, they are. Right now, that it's a turnover for Abdullah, and you know why that was caused. Again, it's Eddie Creechman that has something to do with it. When he had it, Abdullah as his protege in there, and he turned on him, and I'm so glad that finally Abdullah's there to take care of Eddie Creechman and his cohorts.
Well, look at this, the look on Abdullah's face after receiving, well, 2 in an attempted third right-hand punch to the top of the head. He came back with a judo chop of his own, and now whipping Sheik Ali. Whoa, what a shoulder tackle. Anybody, Gino, would have to go down from that.
It's like hitting a Sherman tank, Milt. The way Abdullah's built right now, I put him at 450 pounds.
Oh, he has to be.
Oh, the way he hit. But still, you have to give credit where credit is due. Sheik Ali is still 275 pounds. And he'll recover from that, I'm sure.
Well, there's no question of that. And, you know, a 275 individual having the height that Sheik Ali does is a big man, Gino Brito. But he looks small compared to Abdullah the Butcher.
Everybody looks small compared to Abdullah the Butcher. An elephant would look small next to Abdullah the Butcher.
Well, Sheik Ali doesn't appear tremendously anxious to re-enter the ring right now. He's on the ring apron. Abdullah solidly standing his ground inside that squared circle as Sheik Ali comes back inside. But he's holding on Abdullah, but no, the pleading had no effect whatsoever. Abdullah utilizing those judo chops again and whipping Sheik Ali, greeting him as he comes back off those ropes with a solid right to the jaw. Very quickly, Abdullah moving, scooping and slamming.
Setting him up for that elbow drop, I believe.
And consider 450 pounds behind that elbow drop. 1, 2, that's all she wrote. 1, 2, 3, and with the elbow drop, and he just stayed in position. Abdullah the Butcher victorious in this match against a more recent protege of his former manager, Eddie the Brain Creechman, that of course being Sheik Ali, look at that. Abdullah going back after Creechman another time. Through the steel
no,
chair at him.
please,
Now,
Abdullah.
grabbed him by the hair. What's he gonna do? This, I don't know, Gino. Creechman, 1/3 the weight of Abdullah the Butcher, who just, well, he really didn't put his full force behind that as he tossed Creechman into that chair.
He's got to have a little pity for Creechman, because let's face it, I believe he could kill Eddie Creechman.
Well, I don't think
but
he has any pity
He wants
whatsoever.
to teach him a lesson. That's what he wants to do.
Well,
Will.
he feels that Creechman for years not only used, but abused him, Gino, and that's the crux behind this whole hate situation between Abdullah the Butcher and Creechman, and anybody for that matter who Creechman manages or represents in any way. And for his part, Creechman looking continuously for someone that he can sign that can put Abdullah, hopefully, out of the wrestling profession permanently.
Well, I know, but I'll tell you, sure, there are some big men in professional wrestling. I can think of a few right now, guys like Steve Strong, the Sheik Ali's of the wrestling world, all that. But to put Abdullah away, it'll be something else.
Well, that may well be a task that is impossible for virtually anyone. In the meantime, Abdullah the Butcher did defeat Sheik Ali, and Eddie the Brain Creechman took his lumps. Let's take another peek. Well, we're taking a look at how Sheik Ali was whipped across the ring and then put to the canvas. I'll tell you something. This guy, Abdullah the Butcher, can take punishment, but boy, oh boy, can he ever dish it out as well. Take a look, folks. 450 pounds behind that elbow drop. It's no wonder that Sheik Ali took 1, 2, 3, and now, folks, we're going to take a look at the rematch between these same two individuals. You know, folks, after that devastating elbow drop that we just saw that put away Sheik Ali in their last match, Gino, you really have to give marks for courage to Sheik Ali and for determination to Eddie the Brain Creechman, because he took a lot of punishment as well. Look at the way Sheik Ali just invaded the ring, took care of Deepak Singh, pulling the ninja mask off Abdullah the Butcher and going to work. Does he have something in his hand?
He does, Milt, right now, and right away he attacked Abdullah right off the bat, and probably it's the only way he can get to Abdullah.
Well, he came in very quickly, I think, attempting to use the element of surprise to its greatest advantage. Jumped Abdullah the Butcher after taking care of his manager, Deepak Singh. Rest assured, some of that strategy had to come from the Brain, Eddie Creechman. Boy, is there bad blood between Creechman and Abdullah, and anybody that associates with Creechman towards Abdullah as well, Gino. And what is that Sheik Ali is using on the head of the Butcher?
It's taking the form, I would say it's a taped piece of metal right now, and he's hitting Abdullah. He knows that Abdullah can bleed easy. He's only got scar tissue up there anyway on that forehead, and even the manager right now is holding his neck from that punch he took from Sheik Ali. And so far, Abdullah's coming out with something right now.
Well, that's not unusual, and he did. Abdullah, famous for many, many years for using foreign objects. It's incredible, Gino, that it's a matter of who you wrestle that determines whether the fans cheer for you or boo you, isn't it?
Well, right now, Milt, I would not call that a wrestling match. I'm calling that a pure six brawl. Abdullah against Sheik Ali. What else you gonna expect?
Well, mayhem, absolute mayhem. Sheik Ali whipped off the ropes, put to the canvas with a shoulder tackle, slam, and here comes Abdullah. 450 pounds in the elbow drop. Gino Brito did it again.
That's right, he did it before, and he did it again the same way, the same fashion.
Creechman taking his life in his hands, coming into the ring. Abdullah picking up the Brain. Body slams him kind of gingerly in a way.
No, please, Abdullah.
Creechman still has the cigar in his mouth. Elbow drop. Oh, my goodness. And the... can you believe it, Gino?
That's a little bit of showboating on the part of the referee. I don't like that. Eddie Creechman, with all his faults and all that, shouldn't have to take a beating like that from Abdullah.
And there's the steel cane. The steel cane belonging to Creechman, used by Abdullah the Butcher against Sheik Ali to once again put him to the canvas. Look at that look on the face of Abdullah the Butcher, a determined man, and you'll see more of that later on this International Wrestling home video, folks. Abdullah the Butcher victorious against, in this case, both Sheik Ali and the Brain, Eddie Creechman. Let's take another look. Well, there you see, Sheik Ali whipped across the ring, the shoulder laid in, and I'm convinced that that shoulder tackle on its own, without the ensuing body slam, and now the 450-pound elbow drop would have done in Sheik Ali in any event. Look at that look on the face of Abdullah the Butcher, determined to right what he considers a wrong of many, many years perpetrated on him by his former manager, the Brain, Eddie Creechman. He used Creechman's own steel cane on Sheik Ali, and then he elbow dropped the Brain, Eddie Creechman, a man 1/3 the weight that he himself possesses. Abdullah the Butcher for many, many years has been and does still continue to be one of the most devastating, one of the most destructive forces in all the world of professional wrestling. This man is not to be trifled with. At one time, Creechman seemed to know and understand that. I don't know what did it to Creechman, but something happened and he forgot the lesson that he himself had been attempting to impart to wrestling fans throughout the entire world for so long, as to the capabilities of this man, Abdullah the Butcher. And in having done so, he may well have brought upon himself his own destruction, his own demise in the world of professional wrestling. There have been very few managers in the professional wrestling business that have enjoyed the kind of success that Eddie the Brain Creechman has enjoyed for as long as he has been in this business. And there, what an inglorious way to exit the ring, having withstood that phenomenal elbow drop given him by Abdullah the Butcher, his own former protege, to be taken now and rolled out of the ring and taken from the ring on a stretcher. Look at that exhibition of glee on the face of the new manager of Abdullah the Butcher, that being Deepak Singh, the man who had the ultimate insult given him at one time when Creechman took the turban from him. To that is the biggest insult that you can give to a person who follows the Sikh credo, as does Mr. Singh. Abdullah the Butcher exiting the ring after having given what for to both Sheik Ali and his former mentor, the Brain, Eddie Creechman. Wrestling fans, this is not the last we will see on this particular International Wrestling videotape of the Butcher. Look at that. The man has absolutely no mercy whatsoever, slamming that stacking chair over the head and the body of Eddie the Brain Creechman while he is on the stretcher about to be taken from ringside. And Abdullah the Butcher now venting some frustration on his own manager, Deepak Singh. I don't understand the actions of this man. The entire wrestling world has been trying to figure him out for many, many years. He stands alone as a very unique individual, and there he is, Abdullah the Butcher.
One fall, 30-minute time limit. Dans le coin bleu de Saint-Jean à 118 livres. From the blue corner from Saint-Jean at 118 pounds, Little Brutus pesant 114 livres. In the red corner from Yamachish at 140 pounds, Sonny Boy. Sonny Boy. The referee,
The fabulous wrestling midgets, fun for the entire family on all occasions, Gino Brito. And as you said at the beginning of this videotape, something with which you are so well familiar because it was really your father who created midget wrestling.
That's right. There was a time when we had 24 midget wrestlers going all across America. And right there you're looking at Lil Brutus. He was one of the pioneers and is still going strong today. Going up against a newcomer by the name of Sonny Boy from Yamashish, Quebec. Should prove interesting. The experience, I'll go with Brutus. For endurance, right now, you gotta go with the youth and Sonny Boy.
Well, as you said, Little Brutus unquestionably has been around and is, in a way, a throwback to the great era of midget wrestling with midget wrestlers such as, and the first name that always comes to mind, of course, is Little Beaver.
That's right, Lil Beaver, one of the greats with Sky Lolo, and I'll tell you one thing, Brutus belonged in that category.
Jamaica Kid, another of the
Right
great
on.
ones of a bygone era. It's great to have, let's say, these fellas who bridge the various generations. And Little Brutus, as you will see, unquestionably still going strong, laying in some good right hands. These guys really are muscular and strong individuals, just short in stature. Wouldn't you say, Gino?
That's right, they are. Oh.
Well, there's one of the reasons why wrestling fans the world over do enjoy watching these fellas in that ring. They like to mix in the comedic elements with the athleticism that's so obvious.
That's right, midgets do entertain people a lot, and it's good to see them after you've seen the Abdullah the Butchers, all that gory blood. I just think that match we just seen between Dino Bravo and Abdullah, how rough and tough it was, and poor Eddie Creechman, the beating he took. It's nice right now to relax and watch the midgets.
Well, you need a break from all that intensity because there's more to come as well.
Right on. I know we're going to have the Samus coming up against Dino Bravo, which would be interesting. But right now, let's get back to these midgets and see what the outcome will be of this.
Well, Sonny Boy very unceremoniously tossed out of the ring onto the floor on his posterior, and we can see he's crawling through and underneath the ring. Little Brutus neglected to go right over to the ropes and check out the whereabouts of Sonny Boy, and the fans aren't letting him in on the secret that Sonny Boy is indeed back inside the ring, and stealthily sneaking up behind him. He thinks it's the referee tapping him on the shoulder. Whoa! What a way to turn around. Good morning, Little Brutus. Oh, you know something, Gino? Only these fellas could accomplish what we just saw. And the interesting aspect of it, the fans didn't give Brutus a hint at all that Sonny Boy had gone under the ring and come back in.
That's right. Midget wrestling is a lot different, I think, from the bigger boys. Like right now,
Little
especially
Brutus
a guy
doing
like
his
Brutus,
road work.
he likes to showboat a lot, entertain the fans. That's what he's doing right now.
He's doing his road work right now, and oh, Little Brutus. He just couldn't run another mile, Gino.
He couldn't really. I mean, the way he was going back and forth, and Sonny Boy just watching him go, you know, like running through a park.
Well, I've never heard Little Brutus referred to as Mr. Perpetual Motion before, but he certainly was there. We saw some good rights laid in by Sonny Boy. Oh, a nice move, taking Little Brutus over the count, going in, but a 2 count only. Well,
okay, these guys do like to showboat, like I mentioned before,
Yeah,
but
know.
they do have a knowledge of wrestling.
oh, they sure do. And I'll tell you something, it is no picnic being inside that ring. As the man with the striped shirt, I don't know if to say if I was fortunate or unfortunate enough to have refereed midget wrestlers on a couple of occasions. And I'll tell you, they can not only make you look absolutely foolish, but boy, can they move.
I think think they love to make somebody look foolish.
Yes, they do.
Especially that man with the striped shirt.
No question of that. Whoa, what a right hand. Sonny Boy just received from Little Brutus, putting him flat on the canvas, whipped again, knee to the midsection, and Sonny Boy is over and down. Little Brutus showing us the benefit of his years of experience. What a scoop slam. And now, holding Sonny Boy up by the tights. The count of 3. Well, the referee can't and doesn't have eyes in the back of his head because of the camera angle. We had benefit of seeing that Little Brutus used a little bit of chicanery and subterfuge to win that match by pulling on the tights of Sonny Boy. And accordingly, those years of experience did him well as he was victorious over Sonny Boy. Let's take another peek. Well, we just saw that very, very good knee to the midsection of Sonny Boy after he was ripped off the ropes by Little Brutus. And there's an exhibition of strength, slamming Sonny Boy. A flying sit, I guess, is the only thing you can call it. He hooks the tights. It's 1, 2, 3. Little Brutus wins this. Big night upcoming for the former international heavyweight champion and one of the great wrestlers in the world today. Dino Bravo, for 4 of the last 5 years, you proudly held, defended the International Heavyweight Championship belt. You took great pride in being the International Heavyweight Champion. Recently, as many people are aware, you were defeated and lost that very prestigious belt under very contentious circumstances. For the benefit of those watching this home video, and as a little prelude, you should understand, wrestling fans, that Dino Bravo, not so very long ago, nearly lost his life. Isn't that not correct, Dino? Terrible appendicitis attack, a ruptured appendix. The doctors said another 4 or 5 hours and you would have died. You came back, it was my opinion at the time of the match that you were defending your International Heavyweight Championship too quickly, that you were not at peak physical condition. I think perhaps hindsight has proven, at least myself and certain other observers, correct in that assumption.
Well, maybe you're right, maybe the opinion is good, but I still don't regret what I've done because, as I said before, a lot of time in wrestling, many other sports, you have to compete not being 100%. If you only wrestle when you're 100%, you would wrestle not very often because we're mostly under injuries, but most of the time we have some kind of injury.
Well, however, let me interrupt you, Dino, for 1 second. You lost the International Heavyweight Championship to the great Samu, a man younger than yourself, approximately 6 feet 4 inches in height and 280 pounds. He's hungry, he's tough, he's an excellent athlete and very much a natural wrestler. He worked exclusively throughout that match on the stomach where you had been sliced open on the operating table, and wrestling fans, Dino Bravo was not pinned in losing that championship, nor did he submit to the great Samu, but rather, Dino, to protect your future well-being and ability to wrestle again, but even more so, your future health. Your former tag team partner and very close personal friend, Gino Brito, threw the towel in the ring. A very contentious and I'm sure very disappointing for you way to lose that championship you held so dear.
Well, he took that decision because he knew I didn't have a chance anymore. I mean, I was in such a pain that you know, I couldn't defend myself anymore, and I wouldn't have give up because that's not my style to give up. I never did that before. So I think Gino did the right thing because he knew I couldn't do anything anymore. So he threw us out. He knew I was beat anyways. So maybe he did the right thing there. Coming back too fast, maybe everybody's right, but I feel I don't regret anything because the only way to stay in shape to be in this business is to wrestle. You know, and you get in shape wrestling by wrestling. So that's why I came back maybe a little too fast, but I still don't regret it. The thing is, Milt, is I have my chance today. If I beat the great Samu, I will get a title shot, and I think that even if I lost that title, I have the capabilities of getting it back. I know I can beat anyone on a good night.
Well, there's no question of that. I think wrestling fans worldwide are quite aware of that. The thing is, okay, now it's comeback trail, really, for Dino Bravo. You are used to being a champion. Obviously, we are in the dressing rooms. The matches this evening will get underway in approximately a half hour. It'll be sometime after that. Your match naturally is the main event of the evening, Dino. How are you feeling right now? How's your physical condition? Perhaps even more importantly, how are you feeling mentally?
I feel great. I feel fired up. You know, losing a match sometimes is medicine because, you know, we're all human beings and anybody can be defeated. And I feel fired up right now. I feel like I'm going after something. You know, on the opposite, before I had to defend something all the time. Now it's the shoes on the other foot. I have to go after something that I've lost, and I feel fired up. You know?
Let me ask you a question, Dino. Is Dino Bravo, all of a sudden, after many years of tremendous success in this world of professional wrestling, are you all of a sudden maybe, Dino, a little hungrier than you have been in a few years?
Well, it's not hungry in the sense that I want to make more money. It's not hungry in the fact that I still want to prove, although I'm not getting any younger, I can still do what I do best, and I'll prove that tonight again.
You got my wishes for good luck, and I'm sure that all the people that are watching are wishing you good luck. Dino Bravo, he's a champ in all our books. The main event tonight, the Great Samu versus Dino Bravo. Lots of action on International Wrestling Home Video. Wrestling fans, on my shoulder, this is what it's all about in this wild and wonderful world of professional wrestling. Over my shoulder, the belt emblematic of the International Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. This belt worn so proudly for 4 of the last 5 years by, of course, the great Dino Bravo. This gigantic crowd here, it's hot here. Everybody hot with anticipation of what will happen later this evening when the new and current International Heavyweight Champion, the Great Samu, faces the former champion, the great Dino Bravo. Only time will tell if Dino Bravo will in fact recoup and regain this championship he has prized so very dearly, and he has been a great professional wrestling champion. The great Samu wears this belt, and he wears it well. He does stand in excess of 6 feet 3 inches in height. He does weigh in excess of 275 pounds, a natural athlete in all regards, and a great young professional wrestler. Time will tell, ladies and gentlemen, who will become the greatest professional wrestling champion of all time. But it is my contention that Dino Bravo will certainly go down in the annals of professional wrestling as one of the great wrestling champions. This is it, the heavyweight championship belt. This, ladies and gentlemen, does an awful lot of things. Among others, it puts an awful lot of money in the pocket of the very fortunate professional wrestler who wins and retains it. Later on the program here, International Wrestling Home Video Volume Number 2, you will see the current International Heavyweight Champion tangle with the man from whom he won this belt, Dino Bravo. We'll all look forward to that match.
Let's get down to ringside with Milt and some of the fans and see what they think of the match of Bravo versus the Great Samu.
Who's your, let's say, favorite 2 or 3 wrestlers?
Dino Bravo, Ricky Martel, and Dan Crawford.
Isn't that funny? Bravo and Martel top the list every time. Were you at the matches the night that Dino lost the International Championship to the Great Samu?
Yes, I was.
Kind of disappointing evening, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Very disappointing.
We know that Bravo will be getting back into that squared circle with the Great Samu tonight. What's your prediction?
I am predicting Dino will win it.
Quick?
Yes, quick. He's
Okay.
come back in 100% shape.
The champion Great Samu already in the ring. Dino Bravo coming up the aisle. in my mind, I know Dino Bravo's got a chance to get that belt back, but let's go down to ringside with the roving reporter Milt and find out the views of the fans.
Your name, sir?
Graham Northrup.
Graham, welcome to this International Wrestling Home Video.
Thank you.
You, I know, are a long-time wrestling fan.
31 years.
Okay, that's a long time, folks. Now, Graham, first
Yes.
of all, who are your, say, 3 favorite wrestlers?
Dino Bravo, Ricky Martel, and the other one I couldn't say, but I'd have to say Alofa.
Alofa? He's a very popular crowd pleaser, there's
Yes,
no question.
he is.
Now, some big matches coming up tonight. The one in particular that I want to query you about.
Yes.
We have a new international heavyweight champion, and I know you were here
The Great
night.
Samu.
That's right, the night the Great Samu
Yeah.
took the international heavyweight championship from Dino Bravo.
But Bravo wasn't 100%.
Okay, now, what do you think's going to happen tonight when they get in that squared circle?
I think Dino Bravo will win without a doubt.
Without a doubt?
If he's 100%.
Now, just a second.
Yes.
Well, now I'm going to play devil's advocate with you, if I may. The Great Samu is 6 feet 4 inches in height.
Yes.
He weighs approximately 280 pounds. He's a natural athlete in all regards.
Yes.
And he's a pretty good professional wrestler.
Yes.
Why do you say that Bravo will win beyond a doubt?
Because Bravo has always fought bigger men than him. And he's been very successful. He's fought Big John Studd. He's picked him up. He's been very successful. He's beaten a lot of big men, including even he wrestled with Hulk Hogan.
While we're waiting for Milt, let me give you a few thoughts about this match coming up. As you can see, Dino Bravo's in top shape, so is the Great Samu. One man determined to win back his championship, the other one determined to keep it. It should be interesting. Both men are qualified to be champions. Let's hope there's no interference from that big mouth Floyd Creechman, and the match should be underway. Here's Milt right now.
Well, I'll tell you, Gino, I'm getting too old for all this running around. But especially in an arena that is so hot, the air is just electrified. The fans here obviously solidly behind Dino Bravo with his desire to regain that championship he considers his. Now, we do have to remind the fans that the championship in this match is not on the line. Samu and his manager, Pretty Boy Floyd, refusing to sign to put the belt on the line. But I'll tell you, Dino appears to be in great physical condition, contrary to the way he was in their last confrontation when Samu took the International Heavyweight Championship belt from around Dino's waist.
That's right, Milt, and there's a rule here in international wrestling where a man, as long as he defends his belt once a month, cannot be forced into defending it more often. Right now, Samu still has a few weeks to go before he can put that belt up, and sure, he gave that match to Bravo, and the belt is not at stake, but his reputation is. And Bravo, if he wins that match, well, that's a plus for him, because eventually, you know, once you've beaten the man once, it's easier to beat him a second time.
Well, there's no question, but in my opinion, the Great Samu is going to be very, very difficult to defeat anytime, Gino. He's a large, young individual. I mean, he's about 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighs in excess of 270 pounds. He's fast, he's in great physical condition, and unquestionably a superbly conditioned athlete and a very natural athlete.
You're absolutely right, Bill, and because of that, if you don't mind, I'd like to go down to ringside to watch that match more closely.
Well, Gino, I'll excuse you leaving me on my own, but I do understand the long relationship, wrestling fans, that has existed between Gino Brito and Dino Bravo. The moral support at ringside, I'm sure, will be a stimulus to Bravo. As he is whipped across the ring, good shoulder tackle though by Bravo, puts Samu to the canvas. Look at that quick maneuver, ducking the attempted right hand by Samu, flying body press. I thought that just might be it, and Bravo might score a very quick pinfall. Samu is showing us that he has acquired at a very young age a tremendous amount of ring savvy. Bravo seemingly at that point on a roll. Samu beating a retreat from the ring, slowing down that momentum that was building in favor of Dino Bravo. Now, Samu preferring the hand of friendship, and Bravo probably wisely refusing to take the hand that was offered. He didn't believe it, neither do I. From the collar elbow hookup, Bravo grabs the side headlock, squeezing on the pressure. That could be a devastating hold. You know, you go back in history, the great strangler Lewis used to put his opponents unconscious with the strength of his headlock. Bravo now, whipped off by Samu, ducks again and misses the punch from Samu, leapfrogs, but Samu catches Bravo coming back with a good clothesline, the boot to the midsection. Bravo on the canvas being picked up now and headbutted by Samu. I don't know how many times I have seen Samu victorious in matches as a result of having used to such devastating effect that headbutt that he does use, and particularly when he comes flying off the top corner turnbuckle. Raking the eyes of Dino Bravo. It's not pretty, folks, but that can be very effective. The eyes start to tear, it blurs the vision. But Bravo, not to be outdone. Look at those good snap lefts, snapping the head of Samu back, and the power behind that roundhouse right that puts Samu up in the air and then down to the canvas. The great Samu flat on his face, being helped out under that bottom rope by the manager, Pretty Boy Floyd, and there is no mistaking Pretty Boy Floyd with the outfits that he wears. I've said before, and I'll say it at this time, I would like to know who Pretty Boy Floyd's tailor is so I can do my utmost to avoid him. Samu climbs back to the ring apron and then through the ropes, and now back out again. He stopped the count. Went back out. The referee now starting the count once again. But Samu, who does possess the International Heavyweight Championship at this point, and this is a non-title match, is taking his time, being very, very careful. Bravo obviously on fire from the beginning of this match. The two of them lock up one more time. Bravo forced to the ropes, Samu leaning on him. He outweighs Bravo by about 20 pounds. Look at the effect of those knee lifts. Three of them, and a punch to the midsection. Could it be that Bravo's midsection is still in a weakened condition? Well, we will find out of that, there is no question. A good right hand by Samu. I can't tell, it looked to me like Samu was actually biting Bravo. And there, the headbutt once again. You can see just how wobbly it has rendered Dino Bravo. Snapmare puts him to the canvas, and Samu again going for the midsection. And those feet, you should know from the years and years of walking barefoot on the coral reefs of the South Pacific, are like hardened steel. Bravo on all fours outside the ring, being taunted and laughed at by Pretty Boy Floyd. As now we see the great Samu exit the ring. He's going after Bravo on the arena floor, picking him up. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Bravo reversing on Samu, who attempted to ram his head into that wooden table, and you might say that Dino Bravo turned the tables on the great Samu in blocking Samu's attempted maneuver and ramming Samu instead into that wooden table himself. Both men back in the ring, and Samu, though, continuing to pour on the pressure. The headbutt to the midsection after right hand punches to the jaw. Samu going after that midsection. Can it be that it is the weak spot in Bravo's armor? Still, as Bravo face down, ring center on the canvas. Samu using those feet, and like I said, they are like hardened steel against the head of Dino Bravo, and there's an elbow drop. Samu looking very, very confident right now as he covers, gets a 2 count. Bravo kicking out just in the nick of time, and there, another flying headbutt. That one only from the ring though. And now, wrestling fans, there goes Samu to the corner turnbuckles, but Bravo struggling to his knees, and now his feet. Samu was slow to move from the top turnbuckle. Bravo snatches Samu, slams him to the ring apron, and there, the snap lifts in the roundhouse right Holy cow! This is a pure six brawl. Samu laid out in the corner by that roundhouse right on the part of Dino Bravo, who now moves in, pulls Samu up all fours, but Samu used his head there to the midsection and then back against the forehead of Dino Bravo, scoops him, slams him to the canvas, and now Samu again going for that move that I described earlier, the flying headbutt. But Bravo drop-kicking Samu, who was standing on the turnbuckle. Samu, when he went down, impaling himself along that top rope in obvious pain. Wouldn't you be? There's Floyd Creechman, the manager, gesturing and gesticulating outside the ring. Samu counted out as a result of that very devastating dropkick, and look at the right hand punch absorbed by pretty boy Floyd Creechman from Bravo, and there's Samu tossed over the ropes, but not quite over, hanged in those top two ropes, and Bravo continuing to pour on the pressure, continuing to throw those right hand punches. Samu knows that he has not just suffered a defeat via the countout route at the hands of Dino Bravo, but he knows that he has taken punishment, and so does his manager, Pretty Boy Floyd. Although for a second there, it looked like the great Samu was going to re-enter the ring and wanted to get this battle going once again. I have a feeling he's going to think a little bit better of it. After all, he is still international heavyweight champion. I think, you know, folks, that he may at this point be arguing, he and Pretty Boy Floyd with the referee, that perhaps Bravo should have been disqualified for putting Samu out of the ring over the top ropes. But can you call it that when in fact Samu himself had gone up to that top corner turnbuckle? It was after the match had ended that Bravo did propel him over the top rope, and he wound up hung by the neck between the top and second ropes. There's Bravo back in the ring. Samu outside. He and Floyd, I believe, calling for the championship belt, which is still in their possession. This was a non-title match. However, when the former champion in a circumstance like this is victorious in a non-title match, you have to know that the championship committee is going to force Samu very, very shortly to defend that championship belt against Dino Bravo, the former champion and the victor here in this particular match. Samu, I believe, now knows that the stomach is not the weak spot that it was when he won the championship. That may give him pause to ponder and pause to consider, because he can't go after that one specific part of the anatomy as he did when he won the championship in terms of retaining the championship belt. Dino Bravo will have a shot to regain the international championship that he considers his. Wrestling fans, this has been a great match. I'm going to go down now and see what both Dino Bravo and the great Samu of wrestling. Dino Bravo, I'm glad I'm the first one here in the dressing room to congratulate you. You defeated the great Samu. Fantastic.
You know, it's great to know you can do it, but doing it is even greater. So now I know my shot for the belt is cooking, and I'm going to get that.
How did you feel having all those people up there behind you? Tom Zink, Dan Crofat here, ladies and gentlemen. What a night. Dino, how was it to have that full packed house right behind you during that main event match. I got to undo my tie, too.
It's great, you know, because especially here, in our dressing room, all over we go, it's not like there's no jealousy between the guys. It's all like a big family. Their support was great, you know, and tonight the fan support was great. But like I said before, I knew I could do it, but now I did it, so it's a much better feeling.
Dino, I know you're dying to get in the shower. I want to leave you with these words and the fans. You know you have the wishes of wrestling fans everywhere in your effort to...
I know this is
You
all right.
proved that. You sure proved that tonight. Rest assured, folks, the International Heavyweight Championship is going to rest around this waist again very, very soon. Great Samu, Pretty Boy Floyd, not the result you were expecting.
No, not the result we were expecting. Everybody saw Dino Bravo was beat. And the great Samu, I told him, go in the third rope and come down with your famous headbutt. That's right. I don't get tired. And he climbed up onto the third rope, and Bravo got up. He drop kicked him, and he fell. The ropes caught him right between the legs, right down his nuts. His balls. Your balls, I know. Yeah. And he was counted out of the ring, and then Bravo, boom, he hit me for no reason. And now, no reason at all.
I thought I seen that.
He's a low-life scum of the earth. Pizza picker.
Yeah. Dino Bravo! Yes, come to the earth. The people already seen the other way. You can beat me. It's by cheating, by putting me over the top rope, by making me fall, and that's just something that I really enjoy very much in life, and I can't have it anymore. Next time I fight you, it's gonna be time for you to find a nice wooden box to put yourself in, because I'm putting you 6 feet under. I don't care about the belt. I don't care about nothing.
He's gonna keep it, he's gonna hold, and he's gonna retain it.
As you can see, folks,
Here in the dressing room. He's ready.
I don't think there's anything else to add.
You're gonna have to get in there.
That's it. Well, folks, here we go. And Gino Brito, can you think of anything more exciting than a championship match?
No, sir, I can't. And let me tell you, a few weeks back when Dino Bravo did defeat the great Samu, I was a happy man. Now the belt is on the line. Samu, I believe, is more determined than ever to keep that belt. He's going to be a little more cautious.
Well, he certainly does like the power, the prestige, and the money that accompanies being a major title holder. And he knows now, I believe, Gino, that he can't specifically go after the stomach, the midsection of Dino Bravo, that is not the kind of weak chink in the armor of Bravo that it was when Samu gained the championship scrub Bravo a while ago. He learned that in that last match. He did go after the stomach. It did not have the same kind of devastating effect on Bravo that it did when Samu won the championship. What can we look for from each of them?
Well, I'm sure that he and Creechman have done their homework, and they've probably studied the tape. And one thing is for certain, that the only way that he'll be able to beat Dino Bravo is to be a little more aggressive. The last match, he gave a little too much leeway to Bravo, and Bravo felt more and more confident, and what happened? Samu lost the match. Now he's going to have to wrestle as a champion.
Well, it's true, you know, Bravo kind of dictated the pace of the last match, although Samu slowed it down by constantly leaving the ring. However, he likes being a champion. I think he likes that, Gino, just as much as does Dino Bravo. And it's difficult to take a championship belt away from someone, A, who has the caliber of the great Samu, B, the kind of mentality, because he has, Bravo that is, has to contend with Floyd Creechman outside the ring. You know, stranger things have been known to happen, but the champions, let's say, have deliberately gotten themselves disqualified to avoid losing the championship belt.
That's right, but right now I believe Samu, what he wants, he'd like to get a good pin on Bravo, which to me personally, now folks, this is only my personal opinion. I don't think it's likely that Bravo will get pinned by Samu. Now, I'm not saying that Bravo can beat Samu either, just that they're two evenly matched guys, and as far as I'm concerned, my heart is with Bravo.
Well, you are a long time friend. I mean, you're actually going to sit here and take part in this match with me, Gino?
Well, I know I'm not supposed to milk, but I'm going to, you know, if Samu does beat Bravo and Bravo commits a few errors, I'll be the first one. I'm Bravo's harshest critic. But I want Bravo to win for the simple reason that, you know, he represents to me what a champion should be.
Well, time will tell. Bravo went for the midsection of Samu. He grabbed Bravo's foot, spun him around, the atomic drop, but holy cow, reversed and given back by Dino Bravo. Hey, Judo Chop Gino, Samu went over the top rope.
Oh, no, that referee cannot be serious. That was accidental. There's no way that Bravo thought that Samu would go flying over the top rope.
Well, there was a devastating chop. Samu.
I wouldn't be too sure he did that intentionally to go over that top rope, hoping Bravo would get disqualified.
Well, I'm not sure if he has or he hasn't. I haven't heard the bell. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like they're going to continue to do battle.
They are, and Samu right now, you see how he takes his time recuperating very slowly. His plan to me did not work. He wanted Bravo disqualified. It didn't happen. He has to keep on wrestling.
Well, I think perhaps the referee was admonishing Bravo and telling him to watch those kind of maneuvers close to the rope, that maybe on that time he was not going to disqualify him, but if a similar occurrence happened, that perhaps he would then disqualify him. Is that possible, Gino? Do referees do things like that in the ring? You've wrestled.
I don't think so. That referee to me is qualified enough to know that that was purely accidental, if not intentional, on the part of Samu.
Well, Bravo wrapping Samu up with a toe hold. I thought for a second there, Gino, it looked to me like perhaps he was going to go for your famous finishing hold, the figure 4 leg lock.
Now that is insulting. Right there, getting slapped around like that. Ooh, if Samu ever gets the upper hand again.
I'll tell you something. Bravo now wrapping up Samu. It's an Indian deathlock, isn't it?
It is. Very painful.
A form of the figure 4 with which you are so certainly familiar. They're the hold invented by the Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers, perpetuated to such great effect by the likes of yourself, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, among others.
That's right, but Indian deadlock, the pressure's more on the ankle than the knees, and I'll tell you, if you stay in that position too long, it does cut the blood circulation out of your legs, and that's one good way of losing a match.
Well, they would cramp up, wouldn't they?
They would, definitely, Milt, and right now Bravo's got it on real tight and good, and Samu's got to get out of there somehow.
Is there an escape from the Indian deathlock? I've always been told there is no escape.
I would roll. I'd try to roll to the ropes and have the referee break up the hold.
Well, the referee was counting on Samu after Bravo had laid a very solid judo chop right across the center of Samu's forehead, and you can see Bravo crawling forward, and Samu did just as you advised, Gino. He got to the ropes, and now the referee is going to be forced to call for the break.
That's right. The referee now did call for the break. Right now, if I know Samu well, that's right. Outside of the ring, recuperate.
Well,
That's
it
the
is.
way he works, and he thinks, Milt.
Hey, it's good strategy. You cannot argue with Samu's having done that, Gino. I mean, slow Bravo down. His legs have to be cramped a little. The pain that was laid in as a result of that Indian deathlock. He's got to get back to full use of his legs, because Bravo can move and move quickly, and speed as well is a significant part of Samu's arsenal of weapons.
That's right, Milt, and I'm not arguing that fact. The only thing is that I'm saying that Samu, as far as he's concerned, he did the right move by going outside the ring. I would have done exactly the same thing.
Well, it may slow it down for the fans, and it may, those watching at home and those who were in attendance at the match, and it's not pretty, but it's effective, because it looks to me like Samu has the full use of his legs back. He's got his strength, turning Bravo around in the corner and laying the knees into the midsection repeatedly, and a forearm across the back of the head. A good right hand punch by Samu. It looks to me like he's recovered, Gino, and there's the power of youth.
Well, I think right now he's saying, for every slap you gave me, Bravo, here's one back with interest.
The headbutts being laid in. They're devastating in their effect, and it looks to me like Samu's a pretty good puncher too.
He is, and let's face it, he did recover. Of course, when you have youth on your side, you have everything, Milt. And Samu does have that. He's at least 12 years Bravo's junior, and he's strong, big, capable. He's the champion.
Well, ramming Bravo into the turnbuckles, laid a forearm in clothesline fashion, a couple more headbutts, and now choking Dino Bravo, his neck over that top rope from outside, hung up in the ropes, and laying in the good punches to the head, a headbutt to the midsection, followed by a good right hand, and now Bravo's outside the ring, collecting himself, collecting his thoughts, and he's doubled over, Gino.
Good idea, and Bravo, let's hope he stays there till he's well recovered, because to get in that ring now would be suicide, Milt. Right now, we have to face the fact that Samu has the upper hand. Oh, no.
He certainly does after that. Taking Bravo, ramming his head into that steel corner post, and Bravo down outside the ring. Now, what I don't understand is why the referee is there, Gino, admonishing Samu, should he not have been over by the ropes, counting Bravo.
Well, no, because Milt, when a man runs somebody's head into a steel post, the referee should use his head, sure, bend the rules a little bit, because it's not fair. As a matter of fact, a real tough referee probably could have disqualified Samu for that. But they're aware that the public want to see a winner. He probably, he's a little lax on the rules right now.
Well, most referees do bend it somewhat, because otherwise there'd be disqualifications. If the rules were followed 100%, there would be disqualifications within the first 2 or 3 minutes, I think, of virtually every match that we see. But now the two of them coming back toe-to-toe, punches, kicks. Samu rammed over the turnbuckle, and did he catch his head on the top of the post?
His shoulder, definitely his shoulder hit that top turnbuckle.
Well, that still has to smart significantly. And Samu down, trying to collect his wits, collect his thoughts, but Bravo quickly on him and ramming his head into the mat, rolling him over the cover. 1, 2. Whoa, it's a good thing Samu's as tall as he is, Gino, for his sake, or that would have been ball game over, and Dino Bravo would have regained the championship.
Back suplex. This should do the job, Milt. Normally it does.
Bravo wants to punish him further, Gino. Finish him off just a little more, because I agree he perhaps should have covered him there, but a beautiful drop kick. A beautiful drop kick by Bravo, and a second one, putting Samu down. Bravo backing away. Samu to his feet, and there's another drop kick, but this time the referee's calling for the bell, and this time, Gino, it's the second time that Samu was propelled over the top rope by Bravo. This time, the drop kick did it, and the referee ruled against Dino Bravo and has disqualified him for drop-kicking Samu out of the ring over the top rope.
But why? But why, Milt?
Well, I think that perhaps I might have been right, Gino, and perhaps after that judo chop that Samu went over the top rope, as a result of, I think it's possible the referee was admonishing Bravo and telling him to watch tactics and maneuvers like that close to the ropes, where if applied, let's say, with 100% accuracy or power, might propel Samu over the ropes. In this case, it was, what, the third or the fourth drop kick in succession? It was a well-thrown drop kick. He caught Samu squarely on the jaw, and it is possible, if he caught him, let's say, on the rise, that it was the drop kick that did propel Samu on its own out of the ring and over the top rope. But you know something, Gino? It really doesn't matter. What matters...
It does matter a lot as far as Bravo's concerned, Milt, because technically, sure, he went over the top rope. Intentionally, no, it wasn't so. But, I mean, you know, the referee's right.
Well, I mean, when I say it doesn't matter, I mean the decision's gone in, and it can't be reversed. So, Dino Bravo continuing to lay on the punishment to the great Samu, loses the match as a result of the disqualification for drop-kicking the great Samu over the top rope. The great Samu remains international champion. Let's take another look now. There's one of the drop kicks. Samu on the canvas. Bravo really wanted to finish him off. And there, well, you know, Gino, it looked to me like Bravo, let's say, was on the rise and coming up as he nailed Samu on the jaw. In any event, Bravo does not regain the championship, and the International Heavyweight Championship is still the great Samu's. Steve Strong, is there really any necessity for me to ask you if you are confident going into your match later tonight with the wildest man in professional wrestling, 450-pound Abdullah the Butcher?
Gutted slob. What a moron. You know, they take the IQ, they say the IQ of a gorilla is that of a houseplant. I actually believe that Abdullah the Butcher's beneath that. I mean, he actually signed a contract to get in the ring with me.
Yes, he did.
The strongest man in the world, and one of the most brilliant, I might say. And you know what the problem is there? He's too stupid to realize what he's getting into. Maybe you could, now...
He wreaks mayhem. He wreaks mayhem wherever he travels.
Well, yeah, I mean, you let a gorilla loose, I mean, you throw him a banana, he's going to go crazy.
Have you ever wrestled a gorilla?
Why would I want to wrestle a gorilla?
You've signed to wrestle a man that you've described as a gorilla tonight.
Oh, yeah, but previously, before this, now it's a lot of money. And now with, with Eddie Creechman and Floyd Creechman putting up the cash, and, you know, I'm going to get a lot of happiness. Just sitting there beating that big
Don't
fat
tell him
sack.
how much cash we put up.
Oh,
Don't.
no.
It's none of his goddamn business. Don't
Well,
forget
it's
that.
more than he makes in 20 years. I mean, I'm not going to put it up. I mean, what am I going to say?
Any predictions, prognostications on how you're going to finish off this mammoth individual?
Big fat slob. You know what he looks like? He looks like one of those Goodyear blimps that they painted black. You know what I'm saying? That I should put Goodyear around his stomach. As far as I'm just going to tease him, play with him, like you would a little monkey, and just sit there and put him a little banana in front of him. Only thing is, it's going to be like little slaps. And then finally, when I'm good and ready, I'm just going to give him a nice clothesline right across that orangutan throat of his. And as he's bouncing off the ring, like a big fat rubber ball, I'm going to pick him up on one of the rebounds, put him between my legs, and pile drive him, and finish the pig off.
So you are predicting that you will pile drive Abdullah the Butcher?
Whatever I feel like, whatever I wish, whatever the great Eddie Creechman would like. Floyd, what would you like done?
I'd like you to beat him, and then after that, give him $10 so he can go and wash at a car wash.
Are you forgetting that I hired this man and gave him a large sum of money to beat Abdullah the Butcher?
How much?
For what he did to me? I am not telling. Shall I not tell, Steve? Nobody has to know.
What's he gonna do? I mean, he's gonna be sitting there.
Wrestling fans,
20 years, this guy-
455 pounds this man has predicted. He will not only clothesline a defeat, but in all probability, pile drive. We'll find out.
Anything else done to him?
Yeah, I want you to get rid of him completely for good. Get him right out of the picture.
I need to do my driveway and use him as pavement, flatten him out.
We got enough wrestling fans and a lot of action. Stay around. here in international wrestling referred to as sadistic Steve Strong. Take a look at that powerful body. The man weighs in excess of 290 pounds, possesses 24-inch biceps. He'll be facing the wildest man of professional wrestling. Here now, Abdullah the Butcher, the 450-pound individual from the Sudan. And it's only fitting, you know, folks, because this particular home video is entitled Butcher Mania, and it is Butcher Mania when Abdullah will face in this upcoming match this powerful, sadistic, and very arrogant individual, Steve Strong. He hails from Los Angeles, California. As I said, weighs in at approximately 292 pounds. Look at the way this man can move, and look at the body he does possess. Those biceps measure out at 24 inches. The man is a former powerlifting champion. He squats 800 pounds plus. He bench presses in excess of 650 pounds. The man is obviously a very worthy opponent of 450-pound Abdullah the Butcher, who is about to make his way to the ring now. Well, here comes Abdullah the Butcher to face this powerful, sadistic individual, Steve Strong. Is there a forecast you can make?
No, I will not, because I am looking right now at Abdullah and Steve Strong, and they're both opposites of the pole. You look at Steve Strong, well-built, well put together, very strong man, as everybody knows. Abdullah might be big, heavy, but one thing that Abdullah's got is the experience, and strength-wise, believe me, folks, he might not have the muscles, the definition of a Steve Strong, but Abdullah, I've been in there with him myself, so I know. I'm talking of experience. He is tough, and Steve Strong will be for the fight of his life.
Yet, I think Abdullah may be in for some of the same, Gino, because sadistic Steve Strong has systematically destroyed virtually every opponent that has come into his path. He shows no mercy ever, and he is obviously an extremely powerful individual. You have to look at the expression on the face of Eddie the Brain Creechman. He looks awfully confident that Steve Strong is the man to do what he wants done to Abdullah the Butcher.
Well, one thing is certain, neither man will back down, so it should be interesting to see who will come out the winner on this one.
Well, this shapes up as a titanic battle, a titanic struggle, as the bell has rung. And the two of them, 450-pound Abdullah the Butcher, facing off, the two of them having locked up in a collar elbow hookup or a referee's position, however you wish to refer to it. Sadistic Steve Strong.
Milt, I wonder why they all have their hands taped. Both men, too. Look at Steve Strong. I've never seen him have his hands all taped up like that. What's he afraid of? Broken fingers or what?
Well, I was just going to say that it does protect the hands in that regard, but also, Gino, I mean, they barred hockey players from taping their hands. The tape, doesn't that help if you want to open your opponent up?
I guess it does, but both of them, I've got their hands taped, and the referee let it go at that.
Well, I'm not sure. Was this a taped fist match?
Look at that. He wouldn't go down.
Well, he just did. Another flying clothesline coming all the way across the ring by the big man from Los Angeles, California, Steve Strong. That, Gino Brito, in my opinion, is an indication of the tremendous power and strength possessed by one Steve Strong.
I have to admit it, the way he hit Abdullah that second time, you don't see that too often, Abdullah going down like that, but this time he did. Hit the canvas and hard.
And there's a smirk on the face of Steve Strong, but no more. Whoa, 2 judo chops to the throat after the boot to the midsection, and Abdullah moving very quickly from at any size, following his advantage into the corner. And was he biting?
He was. Listen, there's nothing to stop Abdullah biting, scratching, hitting him with foreign objects, and he'll do it.
Using his head there, ramming the side of his head underneath the arm of Steve Strong. That's a very tender area. And there he used his head, headbutt fashion. And a second time on the forehead of Steve Strong. When he comes back with a right hand punch, rams Abdullah's head to that top turnbuckle. But really no effect whatsoever, even the second time, Gino.
You can be sure of that, Mill. There's no way that you're going to hurt Abdullah ramming his head into the turnbuckle.
Well, the punches to the side of the head, though, that could do the job. Steve Strong throwing his arsenal at Abdullah, and there you can see that Strong's played a little football in his day with those good shoulder tackles to the very ample midsection of Abdullah. And there, look at that, Gino, the strength. Strong with his arms around the midsection and actually lifting up this gigantic individual in a bear hug. Can you believe it?
Well, he did pick him up, but you see the trouble is with Steve Strong right now, he can't get his arms around Abdullah's waist. Abdullah is so thick in the waist and heavy. At 450 pounds, it's not like lifting a dead weight.
Well, that's true, but look at the pressure being poured on by this man, Steve Strong. Look at the effect that it is having on Abdullah the Butcher. I can't believe this.
Abdullah the Butcher right now is suffering. Let's face it, he's cutting off. You know, he can't breathe right now. Steve Strong knows where to put the pressure, and that's the only way you're going to beat Abdullah.
You know, it looked to me like Abdullah was uttering a few words in Swahili, perhaps praying to what, I'm not sure what his religion is, but trying to summon up some form of courage.
He'll have to come out of that one. If not, it's going to be curtains for Abdullah. Steve Strong really amazed me in this match because of one thing. He didn't back down from Abdullah from the reputation or whatever. And so far now, he's got the upper hand on the match, and if it keeps going, he should come out on top.
Well, right now, unquestionably Strong is. Well, maybe not now, Gino, after those 2-3 headbutts. Strong hits the canvas, and the look of almost glee on the face of Eddie the Brain Creechman at ringside.
There's a big elbow from Abdullah.
Yes. 1, 2-0. Strong. Look at the strength the man possesses.
No way. I knew he'd get out of that one.
I was going to say,
he's just too big and strong, man.
That there was almost a look of glee on the face of Eddie the Brain Creechman when it looked like Strong had Abdullah on the ropes, and that changed so very, very quickly as Abdullah came back. Now, Strong again with somewhat the upper hand. Lays a good right hand in, and a second one, but blocked by Abdullah. And he shows us that the judo and karate moves he has learned in the Orient do work to his benefit as Strong is laid flat on his back on the canvas.
Right, as big as Abdullah is, Milt, you got to understand, he's got those fast hands. He knows how to use his weight to an advantage, and he can move for a big man, no matter what. I mean, at 450 pounds, the way he can throw those side kicks, those karate chops, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Well, it's obvious here on Butcher Mania that both Abdullah the Butcher and sadistic Steve Strong equally capable in both dishing out and withstanding tremendous punishment, Gino. Look at those clotheslines that have been delivered to, and there's a third by Strong. He stands back, takes a running leap, and lays that clothesline right across the throat of this giant from the Sudan. Here he comes again. Holy cow, how much punishment can Abdullah take?
He's still standing, Milt. That gives you an idea how tough the man is.
The elbow across the back of the head. Strong. Now, the forearm across the back. And look at this, Abdullah scooping Strong. He didn't get him all the way up. I think that he just lost his grip, Gino, or he would have had
Well, he's
Strong in the
tired,
air.
he's weak, let's face it. And he has to pick up 290 pounds. It wasn't something to try. He tried, it didn't work out.
Look at the way Steve Strong propelled Abdullah back into the turnbuckles, and he is throwing rights. I'll tell you something, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of those.
Well, right now, both men are getting tired. Even Steve Strong, which might be in better shape than Abdullah, but he's getting tired because of fighting that weight all the time. And the punches probably don't register as hard as they should.
Well, he is summoning up the power to lay those forearms in. Whoa, look at that quick move by Abdullah to double chop Strong across the throat. And there, laid in his own forearm roseline, putting Strong to the canvas, but Strong fighting back, and there he's going for the bear hug again, Gino. Incredible.
Got his hands together now.
Incredible. Does that mean Abdullah's lost weight?
No, it's just that we probably just got him right this time. But hey, we're laughing your milk, but I'll tell you, Abdullah's not laughing because that's got to hurt.
Well,
that Steve Strong's got the power in those shoulders and those biceps.
He has, but Abdullah has the power with that forehead. Look at that. Pulling Strong's forehead against his own and using that to break the hold and hanging on continuously to Strong's hair and utilizing his forehead as a battering ram. And there,
the referee got in the way.
Yes, he did, and Strong lifted Abdullah, pulled it. The bell's rung. What can the referee have determined here, Gino?
Disqualified because he's been hit, or maybe he figures we got to stop this fight here.
Well, Abdullah continuing with the headbutts. Strong throwing rights. Abdullah using his head, and Strong his hands, and it hasn't stopped. The referee has called it off. Is there a victor, or is it?
As far as I'm concerned, there's no victor. Both men are staying. Both men have taken a lot of punishment. It proved one thing. Both men are tough. I would like to see a rematch.
I certainly would as well. I'll tell you something. Talk about giants.
We've got a lot of wrestlers coming in there. Pull them apart. Good idea.
Gino, I'm going to let you take over at this point, and I'm going to try and make my way down to the dressing room and get an interview with Steve Strong as quickly as I can
Go
after
ahead,
this
Milt.
match.
See you later. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. About 10 wrestlers in there already trying to pull them apart. Who can play the immovable object against the irresistible force? There they are. Tom Zing in the ring right now. The referee doesn't know, walking around in a daze. Eddie Creechman doesn't know what's going on. We've got Ron Ritchie in there. There they are at it, back again fighting. Headbutt by Abdullah. How many wrestlers will it take to pull these two guys apart? It takes a lot of courage on the part of Steve Strong to keep fighting back. There they go. Please do something, you guys. Come on, get them apart. It's enough. I wouldn't want to see the guys barred. Anyway, let's go into a replay coming up soon. With the headbutt. A second headbutt by Abdullah. This is what got it started. Steve Strong weakening at the knees. The referee trying to pull him apart. Referee getting behind, and that's where you see the referee getting hit. And he decided to put a stop to it all. Disqualification of both men. Well, the action is still going strong. Abdullah still wants a piece of Steve Strong. You see all the wrestlers in the ring right now, as we mentioned before. Here they are. Brito Jr.'s in there. Richard Charland, Tom Zing trying to pull these two big men apart. Eddie Creechman giving orders. What's happening? They were sent in there by the promoters. Toshiaki also in there. Nobody can pull that Abdullah apart. He's just too big, too tough. Him and Steve Strong, the only thing I can see, folks, is probably to rematch these two guys, probably throw them in a cage. Who knows? Something will have to be done. We can't say Abdullah got the better of Steve Strong or vice versa. They're just two big guys getting it on together. A big street brawl. Abdullah just flipped one of the wrestlers over the top rope. Can you imagine that? Steve Strong was flipped over the top rope by Abdullah. What a move. by Abdullah. Abdullah going outside that ring now. Will he want to continue that fight outside on the floor? Wrestlers are just standing by. I know a few of them must be scared right now. They don't want to get too close to Abdullah. Tom Zink leaving the ring. Dan Crofat also. We see the man from the Athletic Commission there giving his orders, telling him probably they'll be fine, but no, they come right back in again. There they go at it again, folks. Can you believe it? These two guys just don't want to stop. Abdullah fighting back, Steve Strong. Oh, I'd like to get a hold of the promoters and sign a rematch with these guys, throw them in a cage without a referee and see who comes out till one guy's laid out completely. I don't know. Abdullah with the headbutt. Steve Strong finally retreating some. He's got to get out of that ring. One thing is for sure, they're both tough, big men. Who knows where the future will lead these two? Let's hope it's in another bout.
Well, the match is over between yourself, Steve Strong, and Abdullah the Butcher. You made a lot of forecasts, a lot of threats. The result, relatively inconclusive.
I had that big fat slob, that monkey, that half-breed. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I want a rematch with that orangutan, that big pus-gutted slob. I had that Goodyear blimp up. Let me tell you something. I don't know what. He pulled something out and he jabbed me right in the throat. I can barely talk right now.
Might have been his thumb.
No, see, you moron. Look at my throat. Look at it, 24-inch neck. You actually think a thumb's gonna penetrate that? How many fingers do I have up?
2.
The eyesight still's gotta be going bad. I don't understand.
No, wrestling fans, what's to say? Inconclusive result. However, sadistic Steve Strong, Eddie Creechman, did not pile drive Abdullah the Butcher.
I'm going to tell you something. Steve Strong did a very good job for me, and I'm satisfied so far, but Steve wants another crack at that big slob, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get him another crack at that big slob. Steve, I want you to know I'm very happy what happened tonight.
I'm gonna give you the money back.
No, I don't want your money, Steve.
I want to give it back to you, because this is gonna be my pleasure. I'm taking that orangutan out, that big, fat, ugly, where's he from?
Sudan.
Sudan? I'm gonna hang him back. I'm gonna send him back. I'm gonna have him hang from the trees like his other orangutan brothers. You know what I'm gonna do, Eddie?
Yeah.
This time, I'm gonna take him. When I set him up, I'm coming off the top with a clothesline. I'm gonna decapitate that gorilla. And then, if there's anything left of that little fat neck of his as it's bouncing back and forth, I promise you, with all my strength, I'm gonna pick him up. And I'm gonna suplex him, and then I'm gonna pile drive him. I'm gonna put him right through.
You know, I want to tell you something. Steve, I'm very happy because everybody I brought against Abdullah the Butcher, he beat them. But he did not beat Steve Strong. He got a licking of his life, and I can tell you that Abdullah is right now in the dressing room having trouble to breathe because he has no muscles. He's got just fats. But my man here has got muscles, youth, and he'll fix Abdullah. I'm going to do everything in my power with my lawyers to get a rematch and get rid of that man.
I don't think we can add anything else, folks. That's it from the dressing room. Here we go. This is the final match here on Butcher Mania, featuring, of course, Abdullah the Butcher. And I can't believe, Gino Brito, that he only weighs in at 410 pounds. To me, he could be even more than 450.
That's right, Milt. I do agree with you 100% here. These weights, you see, usually it's in January that wrestlers' weights become official. But during that 6 or 12-month period, a guy could have gained 50 pounds and he's still announced, for example, Abdullah at 410. Right now, I believe Abdullah's 450 easy.
Well, listen, to gain or lose 20, 25 pounds really isn't much with Abdullah. Now, he is facing in this match a 440-pound, and he's every ounce of that opponent, Karem Mohammed, and this is one of the most dangerous forms of matches ever devised, Gino Brito, is it not? A chain match. Each wrestler has one end of that chain attached to their wrist. And how long is the chain?
The chain, I believe, should be about 12 feet long. And the thing is, it's not a match really that's sanctioned by anybody. Nobody in their right mind would sanction a chain match. It just happened that the wrestlers go to the promoter and they ask themselves, we want to be chained together. Both men have to agree. And you're looking at Abdullah and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there. And I called him that, but he's a little bigger.
A little, yeah, he weighs a little more too, you know.
He doesn't look too much like a basketball player.
I don't.
Look at that.
I don't know if he can get off his feet.
The chain.
I don't know if he can get off his feet to slam dunk a basketball. The man weighs. Well, talk about size evenly matched, Gino Brito. These two certainly are. Karem Mohammed, 440 pounds. Abdullah the Butcher, at least 450. And they're tied together with a 12-foot chain. Karem Mohammed, the latest Creechman protege to step inside that squared circle against the Butcher.
He's a rough, tough hombre, and look at the size of those arms, those legs. The man's a monster. You know, we're used to seeing big guys. I've once mentioned that everybody looks small next to Abdullah, but not so with Kareem.
You know, you include the referee, you've got half a ton of beef in that ring with 3 men. And Karem Mohammed has been using that chain on the forehead, and you just saw a graphic example of it there against the forehead of Abdullah the Butcher, and it's the chain that opened Abdullah up so quickly, isn't it, Gino?
That's right, and I would advise the folks that have weak hearts not to look at this match too closely, because you're bound to see a lot of blood when you're getting hit with a chain. I mean, it's only skin, folks. It's got to split open.
That's right, and by the way, for those of you watching throughout the entire tape, you have seen Abdullah come into the ring carrying a championship belt, and that is the Brass Knuckles Texas Championship.
Right, he's won that down in Texas, not recognized anywhere in the eastern United States or Canada, but he is Texas State Knuckles champ.
Brass Knucks champion. Well, the thing is, with a chain match, the chain does and can, and it's legal for it to come into play, isn't it, Gino?
That's right, it is. Right now, you can do what you want in that match. I've mentioned it before. It's not sanctioned by anybody. 2 men have to be...
Oh, Abdullah blocks that attempted punch with the chain wrapped around the hands by Karem Mohammed. And now it's the Butcher using the chain the same way it was used by Mohammed against him. And look at this. Karem Mohammed, all 440 pounds of him on that canvas. The Butcher standing over him, using the chain like a whip across the back of his gigantic opponent. And now the Butcher using it like brass knucks. He is the Texas Brass Knuckles champion. The crowd urging Abdullah on as he wraps the chain around his fist and uses it against the forehead of Karem Mohammed, who now comes to his feet, and for that takes the chain across the forehead in the same way as he delivered it to his opponent, Abdullah the Butcher. The Butcher wraps the chain around the throat of Karem Mohammed, choking him with it. This is a man who typifies the phrase of asking no quarter and for sure giving none, Gino. He's going to give Karem Mohammed everything and more that Mohammed gave to him.
You know, sometimes you have to figure how many nights a year that man wrestles, milk, and the beatings that he takes. Did you see that punch right there? Now, that should have done the job. It's all
well,
over. Yes, sir.
It has done the job. Utilizing the chain, it's his kind of match. Anybody, Gino Brito, who can be a Brass Knuckles champion has to have somewhat of an edge coming into a chain match where he can use the chain the same way as the brass knucks are used. And there, the two of them don't want to quit. The chain has been taken off the wrists, but Abdullah swinging it around like a lariat and whipping Karem Mohammed with it is victorious. Folks, you can now see why this International Wrestling home video has so aptly been entitled Butcher Mania. Abdullah the Butcher takes on any and all comers, walks away from virtually every match. You can see and hear right now how the crowd in attendance is so solidly behind the Butcher. And there the two of them, Abdullah and Karem Mohammed, continuing outside the ring. Mohammed taking a chair across the head. What a fitting ending right here as you watch Abdullah continue to punish anybody who gets in his path to this home video entitled Butcher Mania. Wrestling fans, we do hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Wrestling fans, we hope you've enjoyed this Butcher Mania. You are looking at action now from another International Wrestling home video. It's entitled The Gladiators. You'll see beauty in the form of Candy Devine and Sherry Martel. You'll see Terrific Tom saying all kinds of action, all kinds of excitement with The Gladiators from International Wrestling.